Hello ladies and gentlemen, and today we're going to be doing a review of the STA-1. This is a tier 8 Japanese medium tank. Medium tanks being the only high tier tanks you can get with Japan. I think you can get some of the lighter tanks down at tier 3, 4, yeah, correct, you can. But what's good about this tank? Let's have a look at the stats on it. Average amount of hit points 1,450. It's pretty decent. I mean, for a lightly armoured medium, that is. Can weigh up to 37 tons. 570 horsepower. Now this thing, it's got a fairly decent power to weight ratio, but it's got a very low powered engine. Top speed 45 kilometers. It doesn't reach it very fast. Traverse speed 44 degrees per second, really fast. Hull armour, not impressive. 45 on the front, 35 on the sides, and then 25 on the rear. So basically this thing's a glass cannon, and by glass cannon you'll see what I mean later on. Turret armour, if somebody shoots through the turret in this thing, you do have a chance of bouncing. Standard shell damage is 180 to 300, it's a 90mm. Standard shell penetration is 164 to 273. Has a DPM of around 8 rounds per minute. Turret traverse of 42 degrees per second. View range of 390. Fairly decent for a tier 8 medium. And very average signal range. So when I said glass cannon, this thing gets a tier 9 gun. Now it's not a 105 like you might expect. It's a 90mm. Except this 90mm has 218mm of penetration on its standard armoured piercing rounds, and I think the only tank, there's very few tanks in the game I think that are medium tanks that is with that kind of penetration. I think the Centurion is one of them. Yeah, there you go. That's the only other tier 8. That's the only tier 8 that has higher penetration than this thing with standard armoured piercing. 226 penetration. Standard on the Centurion Mark 1. So as you can imagine, it probably plays the same, as you could probably think, it plays the same, right? Kind of. This is a sniper slash brawling tank. I mean, brawling tank? It's got no armor, some of you might say. But if you put yourself in a position where they can always shoot you in the turret, you're going to win the fight. I mean, they don't have the armor to block you at close range, and at long range you can just penetrate practically anything. So it doesn't really matter. However, to get to that gun, you've got to go through some bad guns, very bad guns. The stock 90mm you get comes standard with 155 penetration. Now to put that into perspective for you, the top gun on the Churi, the 75mm, the autoloader, also has 155mm of penetration, and that's on a tier 6 gun. This is a tier 7 gun with the same amount of penetration. However, it does get that nice damage increase from probably around 110 or something like that to 240 average, which is pretty nice. Then you get the tier 8 90mm, which is, it's got relatively good penetration. You can compare it to a Pershing, an Indian Panzer. But what you really are looking for is this thing. I mean, this gun you can perform with, but when you get into tier 10 games with, the tank just starts lacking heavily. This thing, however, is able to penetrate tier 10s like butter. A knife through butter. This is a nasty gun, and the Type 61 gets an even bigger gun, a very nasty big gun. More penetration on the standard ammunition, and of course ridiculous penetration on the high explosive anti-tank. Speaking of the high explosive anti-tank, let's take a look quickly at the penetration characteristics of that. So as you can see, it has 218mm of standard penetration with the armoured piercing rounds. 275mm with its high explosive anti-tank. Yeah, that's right. It's a tier 8 medium tank with that amount of penetration. That's crazy, right? Now this is... I love the Japanese tanks. They get good gun depression. They're they're cheap to repair because of the light armor. But they're also performers as well. You can perform really well in it. But also, if you don't play the way you should, you're gonna screw up big time, and you're not gonna be able to get a result. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna jump into some gameplay, show you how the tank performs, because that's what I'm all about. So it's a tier 9 battle. It's an encounter on Lakeville. Not there. It's tier 9. You can pen that IS-8 pretty easily, T-54 easily, as long as you don't shoot at the turret. Your opposite number, the Type 61. You're the next one up, the descendant of the STA, I might say. You can pen that relative ease. IS-6, T-34, Object 416. You can just keep going down the list, and you can pen every single one of those at the front. And on the hull now, not the turret, because let's face it, a slope T-54 turret, IS-8 turret. Are things you're not going to penetrate. I had to turn the sound down there. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and push this mid-ridge a little bit. I'm expecting probably one of those T-44s, the 416, T-43 to come up this line and try and counter-scout us. But unfortunately for this thing, it gets pretty good camo rating. Oh, there's the Type 61, just sitting in the bushes over there. Pulling back, he's going to pull forward in a minute. When he does, we'll put a shot in. That looked like a hit. Artillery zeroing in on the Type 59. We're going to pull back. That area's getting lit up. So this thing gets, like I said, it gets 390 meters of view range. It's not enough to spot here, and plus he's behind a bush, so it makes it a little bit more difficult to be able to spot him. Type 59 pulling back. Now I don't want to go down this line, but I want to stay here for a little while longer while the T moves up. There's an ISU over there. What you'll notice with this tank is when you're driving it, people tend to shoot high explosive at you quite a lot. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. And then this is a lone T-69 over here. Type 59 is going back to help him out, but I fear that might not be enough, even with artillery. Looks like a bot KV-13 sitting in the corner over there. Looks like our shot on that Type 61 didn't go in. Okay, they're behind the defilade. I don't want to go over there. Type 59's got him zeroed down as well, so it's not really worth my time. I said I'm going to go back to the mid-ridge and see what I can spot. Halt the advance, if there is an advance, and catch any of those tanks that come on the lakeside off guard, and do some damage there. So with this tank you're going to be really cautious because, as I mentioned before, you don't have the armor to play with. Looking for the shot. Shot goes low into the T-54's tracks. We're spotted. We're going to pull back, as he does have the ability to penetrate us. Put a shot into that Type 54, T-54 there. See if we can get some sneaky shots onto that guy there. Type 59 is Type 54 is trying to get a shot on us. So we're in a good position. Looks like he's pulled back in the Type. Pull forward a little bit. Put a good one into the hull of that STA. We're not spotted though because we're out of his range. Putting a shot there into the IS-2. He's tracked. We should be able to get another one into him hopefully. Try to get the killing blow on him, maybe? No. Tank, they're getting very brave. T-53 coming around the coast. This thing, you will note, does have very slow muzzle velocity. We've been spotted, we've been spotted, we've been spotted. Expecting artillery any second now to be looking up here. Just keep pulling the ridgeline. Our T-54 finishes off him. S-51 hits us on the gun. That's depressing. I'm gonna repair that. You will note you need to use you kind of need to keep your gun this thing in good condition because it is your lifeline. As soon as your gun goes in this thing, you're gonna start having a load of troubles. So just waiting for that Type 61 to come around the corner. Looks like he's gonna go for the bait. Is he gonna take the Pepsi challenge? Please take the Pepsi challenge. T-54 looks like he might get brave. There's that Type 61. Chilling back there. Now, I could theoretically push up a little bit, but I'd get spotted by the Object 416 and the ISU 152, and those are tanks that I really don't want to get spotted by. Predominantly the ISU. That thing can one-shot me. So as it stands, I would like to... Oh, dear. Alright, we got hit by artillery last time we was here, so we're going to pull back. Knocking down trees as we go. As you do. Trying to play shots there into the oh, here he goes. He didn't spot us. Oh, he did. He spotted. Fortunately for him, he's a very low tank, very flat tank. So by effectively keeping this area secure, okay, we can probably push this line. We're probably gonna need to as well. The town's lost. We need to start making some plays. This is a bad place to be in. But at the same time, we need to eliminate the artillery threat and appear where we're not expected. We know the T-54 is on their side, on our side of the spawn, so it's effectively not going to get a spot off on us, hopefully. If we can just kill this ISU. We needed to take the hit there. Artillery there. Oh boy. Ah, shit. Well, we should have waited theoretically till we was unspotted to go after him, but we was being shot at in our back, I would assume by the T-54 there. Simply because of the rate he was able to get back. He's been crying, he's crying. But yeah, as you can see, that we did a reasonable amount of damage. This game's probably going to get lost simply because artillery isn't moving. So we're not going to watch that. But as you can see, this thing is a glass cannon. When that ISU hit, there was just no chance it was blocking any of the damage there. And then obviously the FE splashed us after we were hitting the back, presumably by the T-54 with a 105. Could have also been the IS-6. But yeah, that's the STA. That's the STA-1 for you. Really good at sniping. If the guns, if the shell doesn't drop off. It's got good penetration. It's mobile. Half decent view range. Good camo rating. Fairly decent terrain resistance. One of the big problems with this tank though is the armor. The armor is bad. So bad. Like as you saw there with the ISU, he just hit us from 1,000 health. He took off 600 damage. Insane. You lose so much health in this tank so quickly, and that's why I said it's a glass cannon. You can penetrate a lot of things, but you can't take the hits in return. So I hope you guys found this video informative. Hopefully, if you want to pick up the STA, you never know, you probably be able to definitely perform better than me in it. And I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Probably gonna be, don't know what we'll do next. The M48, the Derb Sherman, maybe. I mean, this thing's fucking crazy. This is a crazy tank. But hey, guys, have a good time, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.